6th month since I landed in this world. I was slowly getting used to the 9-to-5 grind. Just stepping out of the break room when I ran into my boss, the big spender, back from a trip. Clark wore a black long coat over a crimson shirt, layered underneath, his collar wide open, drawing every eye in the place. His style, pure chaos just like him, unapologetically bold and wild. But today he looked wrecked. Not just tired, but like he hadn't eaten in 3 days. The assistant beside him kept his head down. No one dared speak. Even co-workers were sidestepping him like he was a storm cloud. No one wanted to be the next target, so I quickly turned my face away, pretending to admire the potted plants. But my back chilled anyway, like those eyes were still locked on me. As Clark passed by, he let out a sharp little click of his tongue and bit out, "Carl, my office. Now." Then he strode off, long legs eating up the floor. Business deal gone south. His tone was so cold it felt like ice chips were forming in the air. I followed him to his office door, where he gave a quick order to the assistant, who scurried away, then yanked me inside. Not even 2 steps in before Clark spun around and pinned me against the door, my wrists trapped between his body and the wood. His long fingers slid up my waist, one hand brushing low on my side. The crimson shirt hung open right in front of me, exposing his neck, his collarbones, all that smooth skin. The sight made my pulse spike. He leaned down, eyes blazing with anger. "You were avoiding me?" I lied without thinking. "No." In the human world these past few months, I've learned one thing above all else: how to lie with a straight face and steady heartbeat. But that trick never quite works on Clark. "Is that so?" I played innocent, blinking up at him. "What, is the partnership falling apart?" Clark let out a bitter scoff. His expression darkened. "Vampires really are all heartless bastards. I was gone for half a month, and not one call from you. Now you're lying to me too." Caught again. I sent messages. "Oh, those scheduled good morning and good night texts? Really? Are you a robot? Is sending daily greetings part of your programming? I send you messages, and you never reply. Just good morning, good night, not even asking when I'm coming back." He stared at me, fury mixed with something quieter, something wounded. I didn't get why these little greetings were a problem. Don't humans always do that? And besides, as an employee, why should I care when my boss is back? Wouldn't it be better if he stayed away? Noah was just complaining earlier about how hard it is to slack off now that the boss is around, but I couldn't say any of that. Noah always said you've got to be smooth, especially with bosses. You go along with whatever they want. So I gave him my most earnest look and asked, "So what should I do?" Clark's expression softened a little. "You should not only send daily greetings, but also share bits of your personal life, what you ate today, what you did, who you met. Most important of all, have you missed me?" He leaned in closer, his lips almost brushing my ear. I pushed him back with a hand, only for him to grin wider. "You really have to tell me all that?" "Yes. Everything. So, I should do the same with Noah and the others?" "No, just me." Clark pulled back, offering a smoldering smile, his face striking, his grin as vivid and intoxicating as his crimson shirt. "Why?" "Because I'm your savior, your covenant keeper." Clark wasn't wrong. He had saved my life, and we were bound by a contract, not some corporate agreement, though. It was an ancient magic spell, specifically designed to bind possessions, used by vampires to claim what's theirs. Half a year ago, I was peacefully reading in the old castle of another world. Our realm existed during the Age of Middle-earth. Demons and vampires ruled most lands, while humans held only scattered pockets, living far south on the continent. The magical energy source there was stable and endless, so we undead didn't need to hunt for sustenance. We were always full. For centuries, all 3 factions had coexisted in peace, until 800 years ago, when the demons broke it by starting a conflict. Calling it war was a stretch. It wasn't really a war, just demons and vampires trading blows out of pride. After all, we're all immortal. It was more like a long-standing game to pass time. Later I heard the whole thing started because the demon prince's second son had been searching for someone. And when the vampire side refused to hand over their person, that's when the clashes began. I only heard about this 3 centuries later, never one for the noise. I moved out of the family estate after coming of age and settled in a quiet valley on the border between human lands and the territories of vampires and demons. That's where my old castle sits. Most of my time is spent sleeping and basking under moonlight, with whatever's left either staring into space or reading. Occasionally, when I've run out of books, I'm forced to step outside for supplies. Socializing, practically non-existent. In human terms today, I'd be the textbook definition of a reclusive shut-in. 5 years ago, the demon clan suddenly declared an end to hostilities, and I only just found out about it recently. After so long in isolation, I finally took a trip away from my usual haunts, planning to return home for some things. But on the way, I hit a rift in space-time, couldn't dodge it in flight, and got sucked into this world instead. Lucky thing I arrived at night. Otherwise, the sunlight here would have burned me down to nothing. My magic is nearly gone. I can barely keep my humanoid form, and I'm starving. Back in my castle, I'd sometimes get hungry too. After all, the magical currents at that border were unstable, but a little discomfort usually passed. Not here though. This place doesn't work like that. Crouched in a street corner, trying to figure out what to do next, Clark showed up. It was late at night when he rode past on this strange-looking beast. I didn't know then that it was called a car. Weird shape, but clearly worth a fortune. He stopped behind me and asked, "Midnight cosplay? Who are you trying to scare?" I spun around fast and shot back, "What's that thing? Can I eat it?" Honestly, how hungry was I? Just looking at him made my stomach twist with the urge to tear into him, bone and blood, literally. But thanks to my vampire upbringing, I held back. He blinked, clearly startled, his brow twitching as he said, "You're a vampire?" I expected him to bolt, but instead, he got curious, hopped off in a rush and came over to take a closer look. As soon as he stepped near, he reached out and touched my wings. Instinctively I flinched, shaking them twice, but the more I pulled away, the more excited he got, eyes lighting up like he'd just discovered treasure. This clueless, boundaryless human was tempting me to sink my teeth right through his neck. He circled around muttering under his breath. Black wings, red eyes, a little freckle near the corner of one eye. "Finally found you." I was so starved my head was spinning, grabbed his arm and lunged for a bite. Then my magic gave out, and I collapsed back into my true form, landing right in Clark's hand. "Eft! Just now all full of swagger, and look what you are. A tiny white fluff ball the size of your palm." I lay sprawled across his palm, utterly powerless, squeaking out, "Shut up!" Being seen in my true form by a human. Seriously embarrassing. "You're not looking too great. Lucky for you, I know a thing or two about this kind of thing. How about I take you back to my place and check you out?" Clark gently tucked me into his shirt pocket, then turned and climbed into the car. I weakly called from above the pocket, "No way, I want down. Human, did you hear me? I command you, right now, instantly. Let me go." Whether he didn't hear or was pretending, I screamed myself hoarse. But Clark just ignored me. Instead, he pulled out a black brick from his pocket and started tapping away at it like some kind of ritual. Clark's social feed. Found a bat? Says it wants to come home with me, the mighty vampire count. Snatched off the street for free by a human. If word gets back, those otherworldly freaks would probably be rolling on the ground laughing. Still, Clark's not bad. Actually, pretty decent. Orphan, single, no kids, yet already made it big in business at a young age. Everyone else seems to like him, which is kind of surprising. And he's obsessed with vampires. He probably sees me as just another living action figure. Sure, by the terms of our magical contract I'm his master. But in this world, I've got to follow him. Without him, I'd starve to death. He taught me basic life skills, how to use tools, and how to act around humans, all in 3 months. Some parts still don't click for me. But he trusted me enough to drop me into his company, where I suddenly became my own boss. Now it's the other way around, perfectly switched up. "You're zoning out again. Does my face really have that effect on you?" Clark gave me a half-irritated, half-amused look. Long enough to almost forget he'd been pinned to the doorframe just moments before. "Nope, it's just, you're kind of hard to focus on." Honestly, that wasn't even a lie, he really did look good. Humph. Only then did he let go. He strolled over to his desk and leaned against it, the lingering edge of annoyance melting away like fog in sunlight. Back to his usual self. Smooth, composed, effortlessly charming. Carl, you hungry? I shook my head. Not really. You don't want to bite me? Fresh blood's way better than cold storage. Warm, rich, almost alive. He stared straight at me, fingers idly tracing the pulse point on his own throat. Honestly, that move felt about as subtle as a plate of food suddenly standing up and waving at you to take a bite. So, wanna give it a try? Yeah, we vampires don't waste time pretending we're anything like humans. No need to bottle up instincts. And honestly, he was practically handing me the invitation. Not taking a sip would have been rude. Clark grinned and stepped closer, offering his neck like he'd done it 1,000 times before. Like he was the one doing the hunting. I summoned my fangs, sharp and ready, then froze when Clark suddenly spoke up, eyes narrowed just slightly. Carl, you're being so careless right now. What? You used to be all ceremony, remember? The red one, the round one. Clark traced a faint line between me and him with his fingertip, and I got it instantly. That damn human. Only now, when my fangs are already bared, does he finally start laying down demands? Feels just like stripping naked and then suddenly remembering you need to shower first. I exhaled heavily, summoning the packed circle as he wanted. My eyes reverted to their natural wine-red hue from the strain of magic. A crimson thread shot out from my palm, anchoring at Clark's heart, proof of our bond. Like a dog leash, yet he absolutely adores it. Good enough now? He nodded, a soft smile playing on his lips as he brushed my cheek with his hand, fingertips grazing the corner of my eye. Love your eyes. They shine like rubies. Then you should go buy a couple more to keep on display. They're not half as beautiful as yours. No one's ever told you how unique your eyes are? I swatted his hand away, answering coldly, nope. So can I eat now? My teeth are still hanging out. He's got time for banter while I'm like this? Clark rubbed his cheek where I'd hit him, laughing harder instead. Yeah, well, I'm the first one. He tilted his head toward me, offering his neck. Less like a sacrifice, more like he was leaning in for a massage. I wasn't about to let him change his mind again, so I sank my teeth in without hesitation. The sharp puncture broke skin. Sweet blood flooded my mouth, spilling over my tongue and down my throat. Jolting pleasure surged through me, sending shivers up my spine. Drinking this kind of blood? Worth it for a lifetime. Soon after, I started feeling dizzy, legs wobbling, barely clinging to Clark's body. But I didn't stop feeding. His blood was addictive. Clark wrapped an arm around my waist, tilting his head slightly as if studying my reaction. A low rumble vibrated through my neck and chest. Then I heard him chuckle, teasing me. You said you weren't hungry, so why were you hanging on to me like that? My head was spinning, but I still wanted another couple of bites. Clark gave me a gentle pat on the back and said, Carl, you've got to let go now. If you keep this up, I'm gonna pass out from blood loss. Blood loss? Funny. I'm the one feeling like I'm about to black out. Reluctantly, I pulled away from his neck and collapsed against his chest, gasping for breath. Clark's blood was undeniably delicious, but every time I took too much, my head would spin like a cat after sniffing catnip, totally dizzy. That must be the side effect of top-tier blood. Noah's favorite phrase, "This meal's so good I'm getting dizzy," was playing out right in front of me. Clark gently grabbed my chin and forced me to look at him. Under the influence of the high, his face looked more hypnotic than ever. Baby, are you full now? Full enough, now it's my turn. I grumbled, but before I could even process it, he pulled me back toward the break room. His long legs brushed against mine on purpose, trapping my thighs between them. There was no way I could walk on my own anymore. All I could do was cling to him as I staggered backward. Ugh. Clark. Let go. I can still walk. You sure about that? He suddenly released me. My legs gave out and I fell straight back, instinctively reaching for him. But there was nothing to grab, just the smug smirk on his lips, sharp in the dim light. I landed hard on the bed in the break room. Clark crouched down to help me take off my shoes. You're still thinking about worrying over me, even though you can barely speak. Really, you're too kind for your own good. I wanted to say I didn't mean it, but my voice wouldn't come out. So tired. This time the side effects hit harder than ever. The bed dipped under his weight as Clark lay down beside me, his hand idly patting my back. Tired? Then just sleep. Don't worry. I'll be right here watching over you. His words felt like a demon's whisper, and I couldn't fight the drowsiness anymore. My eyes drifted shut. A warm touch brushed my eyelid. In my dream, I heard someone calling out to me, "Carl, I'm so hungry." Then it hit me. I still had that little bread from this morning, a coworker's gift. I reached into my pocket for it, wanting to hand it over, but couldn't find him anywhere. Only a swirl of purple mist remained in the distance, drifting toward me, circling around like a slow dance. So delicious. The fog stopped right in front of me, then slowly took on Clark's shape. I held out the bread, but he didn't even glance at it before tossing it aside. He stepped closer, pressed his forehead against my shoulder, tilted his head to breathe in my scent. Voice soft and hypnotic. Human food never satisfies. What I want is you. He knocked me down flat, my body numb, too weak to move. His breath tickled my ear as he coaxed. "Just let me see your wings. The white ones, just for a second. Then I'll let you go." "No!" My face burned, and every inch of me felt wrecked. I stared into Clark's eyes. My heart began racing out of control. He pressed himself against my chest, coaxing me with quiet persistence, almost pleading. "Come on, sweet thing. Just one look." "No, not happening." His patience snapped, a faint violet flickering in his pupils. "Fine," he murmured, voice dropping low. "Then I'll have to teach you a lesson." I jolted awake from a dream, still lying in the lounge room, the sky outside completely dark now. Clark was still asleep beside me, staring at his face. I couldn't help but think of those eyes from the dream. What he'd done to me, something so brazen I could barely speak it aloud. Must be because Clark's always touching me. That's why I ended up dreaming about him like that. Even in my dreams, he can't stop staring at my wings. It's all because of that time I accidentally showed my true form in front of him. Afterward, he never let up asking why my wings were black instead of white when I was human. Black wings are so much fiercer, right? White ones just look weak. But the whole family's got black wings, only me with white. A white bat in a vampire clan, that's considered a disgrace. That's why I was pushed out and ignored for nearly 1,000 years. No one's bothered to check on me since I left. Yet Clark, he's obsessed with my white wings. Said, "White vampire wings must look amazing. That guy has such weird taste." His tone was so lazy and flirty, but still made my heart race for no reason. At 8 a.m., I carried my coffee back to my desk. All those springtime dreams last night left me wide awake. Clark, meanwhile, slept like the dead. Since he wouldn't wake up, I couldn't just leave him here alone, so I stayed at the office overnight. Noah immediately noticed I hadn't gone home last night. She tiptoed over with that, "Who's the gossip?" look and whispered, "Carl, did you go on a date last night?" "Nope," I said. "I was here all night." Her eyes widened in surprise. "Wait, was it with Mr. Clark?" The WeChat message alert rings, and Clark sends a message. "Come to my office. You left your ring on my bed." Noah caught sight of it and jumped straight up, startling me so badly I nearly dropped my phone. I heard her yell, "Oh my God, my ship is real." Then she bolted off down the hall, starting the workday this fired up. Is she even okay? I pushed open Clark's office door, only to see him laughing with someone inside. It was Nicholas, the deputy director from the building across the way. According to Noah, before I showed up, Clark was seeing Nicholas the most. There were rumors flying that they were about to tie the knot, but ever since I came on board, those two barely cross paths anymore. Everyone's saying Mr. Clark has moved on. Nicholas stood close beside him, all casual intimacy. He just said something that made Clark's eyes crinkle with amusement. For some reason, I found Clark's smile too sharp, too forced. A sudden surge of anger shot through me. Before he could turn toward the door, I slammed it shut with a snap. Even I was startled by my own reaction. Definitely sleep-deprived from last night. I turned to leave, but the door swung open behind me. Clark grabbed my arm. "Why didn't you come in? What kind of game was this?" "Join your little party, I'm not that twisted," I muttered back. Just remembered. Forgot to hand a file to Noah. Gotta go down. "Won't bother you too." I tugged once, hard but didn't break free. The grip on my arm tightened instantly. Clark's expression darkened. I heard him grind out, "Not a problem, come in." No hesitation, he yanked me inside. No room for refusal. Nicholas sat on the sofa sipping tea, his gaze flicking between us. Half smile, half wang. I quickly pulled my hand free, giving Nicholas a flustered wave. Mr. Nicholas, hi. The man on the sofa let out a quiet chuckle, nodding once, his eyes still flicking between me and Clark. In the massive office, we three just stared at each other, the silence thick enough to choke on. All my earlier anger vanished in a flash. Nicholas was staring right through me, making my skin crawl. Without warning, I remembered last night's dream, and suddenly felt even guiltier. Help me out. I'm gonna snap if I don't do something soon. The tension hung there a beat too long before Clark finally sighed. The ring's in the box on the restroom bed. Go grab it yourself. Got it. I took off without a glance back, already dashing toward the restroom, completely missing the way Clark's jaw tightened and his fists clenched behind me, or how Nicholas was biting his lip to keep from laughing. Your little bloodsucker doesn't even recognize you. Shut up. Seriously, who'd believe it? The guy who commands legions of demons can't even handle one tiny vampire. Imagine what those old-school demons would say if they found out. Oh, you want to run back and spread the news? I'll send you straight to my brother's palace right now. Face to face with him. You can have your fill. Clark lifted a hand as if summoning the portal gate. No. I'm not ready to see that old plank of wood yet. Clark dropped his hand. Nicholas turned back with a smirk, already itching for trouble again. How about this? We team up on the deal, and I'll teach you 2 tricks in exchange for some extra cut. Get lost. I walked into the lounge, and sure enough, there it was, the box on the bed, the golden ring with our family crest resting inside, calm and still. The ring's more than just a symbol. It's proof of bloodline, and since we're vampires from the mainland, it also carries a protective ward against demons. Wear it, and you're safer on the outside. Though I've been losing this thing lately, like, constantly. After finding it, I dropped to my knees by the door, ears strained for any sound outside, planning to slip out when I could. Just then, Clark pushed through the doorway, straight into me. My forehead cracked against the wood with a solid thud. A lump bloomed right on my temple. He scowled down at me and reached out to pull me up. I heard him mutter under his breath, "Idiot." Then he turned cold, walked off without a word, grabbed the first aid kit, then came back, face unreadable, slathering ointment on my wound like it owed him something. I had no idea what was eating at him. I rushed to ask him, "Where's Mr. Nicholas?" He didn't answer, just pressed harder on the wound. My teeth snapped together from the sting. Clark exhaled through his nose, then eased up a little. "He's gone." No wonder he was in such a mood the second I walked in. Guess the wife took off. You'd think Clark would have had enough sense to leave us alone. But nope, he's clueless as ever. Still, if he and Nicholas were really gonna tie the knot. My chest tightened up all at once, like something heavy was lodged there, thick and suffocating. Clark tapped my forehead with 2 fingers. "What are you zoning out about now? You've been doing it every time I show up." I turned away, muttering under my breath, just thinking how to find a blood substitute. He froze, then let out this short, incredulous laugh. "Carl, you've got quite the appetite. My blood not good enough for you already? Now you're hunting alternatives." "Sure, I can handle it now. But who knows what comes later? Can't just starve myself to death, right?" I didn't say anything. Clark sat down beside me and stewed in silence. A few seconds passed before he finally let out a slow breath, then spoke. "The ring. Hand it over." I fished it out of my pocket without a word, and Clark snatched it right away. He grabbed my left hand, ready to slip it on. The second the metal touched my skin, my fingers jerked back like they'd been shocked. Clark frowned at me, confused. "I'll do it myself." I yanked the ring back and slid it on by myself, then looked up, right into his expression, blank and hollow, still thinking about Nicholas. That familiar knot twisted in my chest again. Bitter, tangled, angry, and just a little like crying. Do humans really do this? Pretend you're not even thinking about someone else, while casually putting a ring on another person's finger, making it all kinds of weird. "Clark, I need to say something. I think we should cut back on physical contact, except for what the contract actually requires. Even though I've got no real experience with emotions, and honestly don't even know how humans usually act in relationships, I just don't like stepping into someone else's thing. If you're already thinking about finding a partner, then just end the contract now. It'd be better for everyone." I clutched the ring, spilling everything I'd been holding in, no build-up, no sense of timing, The air went icy. Everyone around froze. I glanced up, and there he was, eyes blazing with fury. I dropped my head fast, fingers spinning the ring like a nervous habit. It wasn't even unreasonable, so why did Clark look more pissed than ever? Did he actually want Nicholas to be the one in charge? Like how humans used to do it back then? No way am I playing the third wheel in someone's family. Not gonna happen. Who told you I'm even looking for a partner? Ha! I rubbed my nose and said, everyone's been buzzing about you and Mr. Nicholas getting hitched. Didn't you hear? He grabbed my hand, his voice rising with urgency. So because of all these rumors, you're just gonna break our contract? We've been together this long. Don't you feel anything for me at all? It's a cardinal sin for vampires to develop feelings for their food. Ever seen a human fall head over heels for a roasted drumstick? Sure, Clark wasn't a chicken leg. But he was just as tempting. If I did feel anything, it'd be the way someone craves their favorite snack. He gritted his teeth, eyes blazing with fury, like he wanted to tear me apart. A thin line of blood seeped from his lip where he bit down. Couldn't look away. My hunger surged, raw and undeniable. Clark's rage cooled slightly. His lips curled up at one corner, like he was waiting for me to finally bite. I wasn't about to forget the argument we'd just had, or how I'd already won on logic and presence. This was not the moment to back down. I slapped my hands over my eyes and turned away. Can't see it. Can't see it. Can't see it. Carl. Clark yanked me into his arms, one hand locking onto my jaw. His lips crashed down on mine without warning. MMPH. The sweet rush of blood flooded my mind. Overwhelming, intoxicating. I was lost in it instantly. Breaths and water sounds wove together in the quiet room, the rhythm building fast. Dizzy, gasping, I thought I'd pass out, until Clark finally let me go. I collapsed onto the bed, chest heaving, heart pounding like a drum. But Clark? He acted like nothing had happened. He calmly started unbuttoning my shoes. Still tired. Young blood's got its perks. You crash right into sleep. He sat on the edge of the bed, tucking the blanket gently around me. What's with that pouty look? I scowled at him. Your blood. It's poison. Such a high compliment? I can't possibly take that. Clark grinned, teeth flashing, and I scowled, turning my head away in annoyance. He reached out, fingertips brushing the little mole at the corner of my eye. No need to waste time hunting for a blood substitute. None of theirs taste half as good as mine. My head was spinning, so tired I couldn't even muster the energy to argue back. Just as I was drifting off, I heard Clark whisper, I've got nothing going on with Nicholas, and certainly not some marriage alliance. They're all so boring. The only thing that matters to me is... What? But there was nothing. Just silence. And I fell asleep. Once again, I dreamed of that swirl of purple smoke. But this time it didn't cry out hungry, nor did it shift into Clark's form. It just circled me, over and over, like a restless spirit. Finally, looking tired, it zipped to my shoulder and curled up there. A soft sigh brushed against my ear. I've been searching for you so long. Stay with me, okay? I didn't sleep long before I woke up. Clark was gone, and the magic in my body had crept back a little more. One step closer to getting back to the castle. As Clark said, finding blood as tasty and restorative as his. That's not easy. At first he'd even brought me blood bags. Tasted like flat water, and forget about restoring magic. Still, nothing beats Clark's blood. Then again, humans all seem to end up in love and marriage eventually. With Chinese New Year coming up, Noah's already stressing about being pushed into marriage. Better safe than sorry, I should keep looking for a decent blood substitute. The human New Year's on the way, and Clark, being the rising star he is drowning in party invites. On a workday morning, he messaged me, "Want to come with me to the weekend gala?" Back then IDV said no without thinking twice. But times have changed. Lots of elites at these things. Might just be someone there with blood that works. Saturday night, I followed Clark to the party venue. Right as I stepped inside, I started regretting it. So many people just going with the crowd. Knowing my social anxiety, Clark found a quiet corner for me to hang out in while he went off to mingle. I was sitting there like I belonged, but my nose wasn't idle. Every human who passed by got the full sniff treatment. Sadly, every one of them had totally ordinary blood. Just when I'd written off the night as a bust, a man in a brown suit glided toward me. There was this faint scent clinging to him, like blood, but subtle, almost sweet. "Hey, handsome, why re you all alone? My friend's off chatting with someone. I'm just waiting here for him. I'm Dennis. What should I call you?" "Carl." Dennis slid into the seat beside me and kept the conversation going. That scent hung in the air like a whisper. His blood was different, definitely not average. He was polite, warm, and just happened to love reading during his downtime. We hit it off instantly. "Talking with you's been such a pleasure. Meeting someone like this feels almost meant to be. Here, let me buy you a drink." He raised his glass as if to clink mine. Clark had warned me not to drink much, but just one sip shouldn't hurt, right? I nodded, took a small sip, then set the glass down. "Oh, wanna add my number?" "Sure." I fished out my phone, only to catch him flashing a sheepish grin. "My bad. I must have left it in the lounge." "Hey, lucky for me, I got a book in my bag right now. Wanna come with me? We can grab it together and chat on the way." I glanced around, no sign of Clark, so I sent him a quick message before heading out with the guy. Maybe it was the drink, but halfway there, my head started spinning. Dennis noticed and reached out to steady me. "You drunk? Come on, pick up the pace, we're almost there." By the time we reached the lounge, the dizziness hadn't faded. Anything but. If anything, it got worse. Pain creeping through my body like fire under skin. Magic was fading fast. I lay sprawled on the couch, fumbling for my phone to call Clark, but Dennis snatched it right out of my hand and tossed it aside. "Phew, playing the gentleman's a real drag." "What did you say?" "You're an idiot, that's what. Vampires really are easy to fool. Just a little trick and you're dancing on their strings. When it comes to lying, we demons still win by a mile. Out here beyond the mainland, you bloodsuckers are useless." He pulled a wicked-looking dagger from his palm and pressed it against my throat. "You know, should I just slit your throat right here? But watching you suffer before you die, that'd be way more fun." The pain surged, burning through me, like every organ was on a grill. Breathing got harder, air thinning with each gasp. Magic was draining fast. Along with it, my body started breaking down uncontrollably. For the first time ever, those white wings revealed themselves in front of someone else. "Look at this. A white vampire? Never thought you'd be an anomaly." Dennis lunged forward, reaching out to touch the wings with glee. "Anomalies are rare. Slice off these wings, and I could sell them for a fortune." "Don't you dare touch me." I flared my wings to shake him off, but it was useless. All I could do was glare, frozen in rage and fear. Dennis angled the blade along my wing bone with a smirk. "Still got fire in you even when death's on your doorstep? Impressive, but pointless. These eyes are worth keeping. First I'll slice off your wings, then dig out these pretty little orbs." My mind starts to fade. Just as I'm slipping, I swear I hear Clark's voice. "You said you wanted to rip out whose eyes?" Clark sees the message and goes straight for Carl, but he's nowhere to be found. Finally, he traces him through the anchor point embedded in Carl's ring and teleports right there. The man he'd been hunting lies sprawled on the ground, half-dazed, with Dennis standing over him, foot planted on Carl's back, about to carve into those wings he's never even laid eyes on. Clark explodes. He kicks Dennis hard aside and rushes in, spreading his own wings wide to shield Carl. "Clark!" Clark frantically checks on Carl, but the moment he touches him, something feels wrong. When he flips Carl over, he's still gasping for air. "Don't worry, I'm here now. How are you doing? Hurts? Am I gonna die?" Clark turns sharply, his violet eyes blazing with fury as they lock onto Dennis. "What did you give him?" The fear hits Dennis like a shock. He crumples to his knees, trembling too hard to look up. I didn't feed him anything. Just a potion that drains magic. The antidote? Where is it? The recipe's been lost for centuries." A blade flashes past Dennis' face. The curved purple dagger returns to Clark's grip. "This is your punishment. Don't think you can run wild just because you're in human world. You knew better than this, now face what you've earned." He pulls the man into his arms, staring down at Dennis from above. "Did you just touch his wings?" I didn't mean to, Clark, sir. I had no idea he was yours. Please, spare me, then leave your hand behind. When Nicholas arrived at the lounge, the floor was already a mess. Clark was trying to open a rift in space-time, his wings tightly shielding the person in his arms, so completely that you couldn't see a thing inside. Those purple eyes locked onto him, and Nicholas felt a jolt in his chest. I'm going back for one last run. I'll need you to handle things here. Keep an eye on the demons who haven't been sent back. Nicholas dipped his head. Yes, Clark, sir. The pain was fading fast, replaced by a warm, full sensation, like magic surging through him. It had been so long since I slept this well. For a second there, I actually thought I was back in the old castle on the continent. Honestly, I am back on the continent. But who the hell can tell me where exactly this is? This lavish chamber, the over-the-top decor, the crystal coffin. It's nothing like my little fortress. My memory still stops at the banquet lounge, where I nearly died, then saw Clark. After that, everything goes blank. A rustle came from the sofa. A pair of massive black wings unfolded slowly. Clark rose up, horns curling above his head like a demon's crown, his tail coiled on the floor, those purple eyes fixed straight on me. You're awake. This time. You really slept for ages. A demon. My mind froze for half a second, then kicked back into gear. So Clark's actually a demon? Judging by this place, he's probably some high-tier one. Her demons are unpredictable. Vampires caught by them either get tortured half to death or end up as their personal playthings. I shivered and turned my head. Carl! A gust brushed past me, then Clark was already in front of me. Hiding from what? He cupped my face, then pressed a sharp kiss to my lips, and my cheeks burned instantly. You don't think just because you're a demon you can do whatever you want. We vampires have pride too, and limits. I'm not going to be your toy, ever. Clark froze for half a beat. Then a wry smile tugged at his lips. That was back in the Dark Ages, over 800 years ago. So all this time I've been trying to win you over. You didn't even notice. My turn to be stunned silent. Who even said vampires prefer quiet, delicate types? From where I'm standing, street dogs have better emotional range than you guys do. What's that supposed to mean? It means I like you. I want you to be my queen. My heart hammered in my chest. Then Clark took my hand, and the ring shifted with his movement. The bulky face grew slender and elegant, its band etched with a delicate pattern. The rare dingle flower native to the continent. If I'm not mistaken, its meaning is love at first sight. At either end of the design were two letters, scribbled, unevenly carved, clearly handmade. The ring was your own idea. You practically forced it on yourself. We demons are pretty open-minded and democratic. Fiancés can try things out early. Unsatisfied? No problem, we'll take it back. If you don't know how to answer me now, well, we can wait till tonight to decide. Before I could answer, his tail slithered over and clamped over my mouth. He lifted me effortlessly onto the edge of the bed, then leaned in close, pressing down on me. Democracy was the deal. So why'd it just turn into openness? Ugh. I didn't say no, but wasn't this moving a little too fast? Relax. My skills'll leave you satisfied. For the entire night, Clark kept going nonstop, clattering, slamming, like he hadn't eaten in 8 lifetimes. Not until dawn painted the sky faintly pink did he finally slow down, full and sated. His white wings hung limp beside him as he gently wiped them clean. Then suddenly, a soft chuckle escaped him. Sweetheart, did you know? You're actually a little pink bat. I'd been half asleep. Now I was mortified and furious, burying my face deep into the blankets. Seriously, you're getting redder by the minute. Shut up. Another light laugh. He stretched out his wings to shield me from the morning light spilling through the window. All right, enough teasing, get some sleep. When you wake up, don't forget to give me 5 stars. The red cord linking him to Clark's heart twirled around his fingertip as he gently kissed it. Gazing down at the person in his arms, he thought quietly, if you're not happy this time, it's fine. We demons pride ourselves on being open and democratic. I'll keep trying until you are my master. Side story. Clark. I'm Clark. Demon, Siren, second prince of the continent's demon clan. Lately, I've been a real mess. Just got our army to the edge of the vampire fortress when my brother ordered me to pull back. Pulling back. Not happening. I'd raced back like hell, determined to find out what he was really up to. Patrick kept his head down, busy with paperwork, not even glancing up. Spit it out. What's so urgent? My army's still waiting on the front lines. Pull back. On what grounds? I was about to storm their stronghold. I won't stop until they hand over the prince consort. Patrick finally looked up. The prince consort they've got isn't the one you're looking for. How can you be so sure? You've never even seen her. I have. She's not him, and her age doesn't match yours either. Doesn't add up. Patrick went back to his work without another word. I was furious. I drew my purple blade and pressed it against his throat. You knew all along, didn't you? You let me fight this whole damn war just to mess with me. So what if I did? It's not like anyone dies in these clashes. Keeps them busy, me too. Saves me from sorting through a pile of trivial nonsense. Cut me already, if that's your move. I'm done dealing with this mess. I put away the purple blade and say, I'm not taking over this mess. Come on, tell me what you want from me this time. There've been reports of demons vanishing inside our territory. Witnesses say it's a rift in time and space. Some poor soul walks by, gets sucked in, and just disappears. Nicholas heard about it and volunteered to check it out. But he hasn't come back. I need you to go there, see what's going on, and bring him back with you. You're asking me to track down your runaway wife. I haven't even found mine yet. Where the hell am I supposed to start? No way. Go yourself. You think I don't want to go myself? If it weren't for that deadbeat old man bailing on the mess, do you really think I'd be calling you back? I sent someone to consult the Western Witch a while ago. The person you're after. She's there too. Why didn't you say that sooner? Ever since I set roots in the human world, I've just become Patrick's go-to demon deportation tool. Demons who accidentally fall into the human world sometimes choose to return on their own, while others decide to make a life for themselves here. Nicholas is the perfect example of the latter. He wasn't pulled in by accident. He jumped over himself. Only Patrick would pretend he was an unlucky soul caught in the crossfire. I'm not going back, no matter what you say. I spent a whole 1,000 years stuck with that blockhead, doing paperwork day after day, 1,000 years. Man, if it weren't for his damn face messing with my head, I'd have walked away ages ago. Dumbass deserves to be alone forever. He's got a point. Patrick may share the same parents as me, but he didn't inherit a single drop of that demonic flair from our mom. Apart from that face, everything else, pure old man through and through. Thinking about how Patrick deliberately kept quiet all those years so I'd waste my life doing his dirty work. Yeah, I totally felt for Nicholas. That's why I'm willing to help him stay in the human world. But for 5 whole years, after sending back dozens of demons, not once did I catch a glimpse of him. Then, while doing my usual rounds checking those rifts between worlds, I stumbled on one demon with wings that didn't look quite right. I yelled at him, "What's with the late-night cosplay? Who are you trying to scare?" That's my go-to test. People get it. Demons don't. If they don't understand, they're definitely from our world. He turned around, and his eyes were full of hunger for food. My heart kicked hard in my chest. I jumped out of the car right away, and there he was, him, that pair of red eyes. I'll never forget them. Vampires aren't like demons. Their magic drained fast when they first arrived, leaving him powerless and back to his true form. A tiny white bat, bones in his wings faintly glowing pink, soft as a feather curled up in my palm. So damn cute I nearly melted. I slipped him into the front pocket of my jacket. He kept making little whimpering sounds. How can something so adorable even exist? I pull out my phone and post to friend circle right away. Who else gets it? My wife just fell from the sky and landed in my hands.